Sports Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business. Connecting changes everything. From legendary Beaver Stadium here in State College, Pennsylvania, we've got a chance to see the #2 team in the nation, the undefeated Indiana Hoosiers at 9-0, ready to take on Penn State. And the college football playoff rankings: Ohio State, Indiana, 1 and 2, both undefeated. And here come the Nittany Lions. Hi, everybody. I'm Gus Johnson, along with my quarterback, Joel Klatt. And welcome to Happy Valley, folks. And let's start with the visiting team, Indiana. What a season it's been for Kirk Cignetti. Once again, he has them positioned to this time go to the Big Ten championship game, and also again a return to the college football playoffs. And one reason they're playing well is their quarterback, Fernando Mendoza.
I love covering this team. They're so well coached. They're a very complete team, this Indiana team, justified up there at #2 in these playoff rankings. And it does start with their quarterback, Fernando Mendoza. He has been absolutely tremendous this year. 29 total touchdowns. That's the most in college football, but it's not just their ability to throw the football. It's their ability to run it. They run the ball as well as anybody in the country. #2 in the Power 4, run the football at almost 250 yards per game. It's what makes them so balanced. And then this defense, often overlooked because of what the offense is doing, but this is one of the best defenses in the country, led by their middle linebacker, #4, Aiden Fisher. This is a complete team. They play hard. They play the right way. And this team right now looking at the prize at the end of the year. Maybe a Big Ten title, maybe a national title.
As for Penn State, it's been a challenging year. They replaced their head coach, James Franklin. They come into this game losers of 5 straight football games. However, last week against Ohio State in the first half, they did a terrific job. Went into the locker room trailing by only 3. And one reason, their young quarterback, he stepped it up.
Ethan Grunkemeyer played so much better from his first start to his second start, Iowa to Ohio State. And they're hoping he takes another big jump here in his third start against Indiana. What would help him as a young quarterback, get the run game going. This is a team that's always run the football well. And these two veteran backs, Katron Allen and Nick Singleton, they've got to play a big part in this game here today. Getting Nick Singleton the ball out on the perimeter in space is a real key for them. The coaches told us if they want to win today, these two guys need to touch the football about 35 times. So we'll see these two guys quite often here today.
All right, time now to join the third member of our team on the sideline, the All-American girl, Jenny Taft, who's standing by with Coach Siggs.
Gus, thank you. Well, Coach, Indiana has never won here at Beaver Stadium. How does that change today?
This team's never played here.
This team has never played here, and this team is special. But you said your antenna is up when it comes to Penn State. What concerns you?
Nothing concerns. The time to be concerned's over. It's time to attack and play.
Thank you.
All right, Jenny, thank you very much. Great weather here in Happy Valley. 57 degrees and sunny at kickoff time in a series that dates back to a 1993 meeting here in State College. Penn State leads it 25-2. They've won 3 straight and 9 of the last 10. Indiana and Penn State. Penn State won the toss, deferred. Indiana will receive. And we are ready for football here in Happy Valley. Terry Smith, the 56-year-old interim head coach for the Nittany Lions, against Coach Siggs and Fernando Mendoza. And what are some of the things that we should pay attention to early on in this game, Jake?
Well, early last week against Maryland, Indiana did not start fast offensively. In fact, Mendoza threw a pick on his third play of the game. I expect them to try to get that run game going early, in particular with the way that they carried that offense in the second half against Maryland, running for over 300 yards a week ago.
Penn State IU, here we go. Roman Hemby, the deep man. He'll start inside his own 5 and get up to the 20-yard line before being gang tackled. So that will bring out Fernando Mendoza, who has a shot at the Heisman Trophy this year.
Man, he has been so good. this Indiana team does a great job of attacking the numbers. If you've got two safeties deep, they run the football. If you've got one safety and everybody up defending the run, they throw the football. And it's all about the trigger man, Fernando Mendoza. He is very smart, accurate with the ball, and has a great quick release.
Mendoza, 6'5", 225, listed as a junior from Miami, Florida. He's a Cal transfer. First down and 10 of the 21-yard line. Hemby in the backfield with Mendoza. And they'll give it to him on first down, running straight ahead. And he'll get a chunk tackled by Wheatley. And that's a gain of about 7 yards. Here are the Hoosiers on offense.
Yeah, battling a bit of an injury bug right now. Left guard Drew Evans is out. Zen Mahalski, he's looking like he could get some time. Ajani as well in there at left guard. And then Elijah Surratt not playing today. He had a hamstring injury a week ago. He's their best receiver on the outside.
Second down and 2 of the 29 after the 8-yard pickup. Hemby again looking for that first down. He's gobbled up. Dominic DeLuca just grabbed him and put him down. No gain. Defensively for the Nittany Lions.
Well, this defense, they have not been playing great the last 5 games during Big Ten play, but it's about that front 7. They've got to put pressure on Fernando Mendoza. It's a defensive line that does not have a sack in their last 2 games. They need to get to Mendoza, and that pressure is going to be on Denai Dennis Sutton. He's a great player, but the production hasn't been there. He needs to make the plays that are there for him to make.
Third down and 2 at the 29. Great chance here for Penn State to get off the field. Mendoza to throw it. And a whistle.
Prior to the snap, timeout Indiana.
Wow, quick early timeout for Indiana. Hoosiers saw something they didn't like on a third down and 2.
Is the best third down offense in college football. One of the things that they do such a great job of, Gus, is that their wide receivers have a unique and specific understanding of where the sticks are. Now, this is a pretty short yardage opportunity at 3rd and 2. Running the football is certainly on the table for this potent rushing attack. But one of the things that opposing defensive coordinators have talked about is that this Indiana team loves to throw these short routes when they need these first downs. And these defensive backs for Penn State, if I were them, I'd be sitting on those short routes. That's exactly what happened against Maryland a week ago when Maryland was able to intercept that ball.
Hoosiers rushed for 367 yards against Maryland last week. Third down and 2. Mendoza, here comes a blitz. And they get it away. It's caught, but not enough for first down. Hemby, terrific job by the Penn State defense as Denai Dennis Sutton got to the quarterback.
I tell you, he is just so fast off the ball. And Mendoza has everybody out, and as Penn State blitzes, he's got a free rusher. It happens to be Denai Dennis Sutton, and he's right in his face as he tries to deliver that ball. Big hit on third down. And even though that was a catch, defense in position, King Mack did a great job defending.
So Indiana forced to send it away. McCarthy with Pena, the Syracuse transfer, back deep, takes a bounce, picks it up on the hop, tries to get outside, does, and a great return all the way across the 40-yard line. A 46-yard punt, a 17-yard return, and that brings on young Ethan Grunkemeyer, a freshman from Columbus, Ohio.
There was a late flag on that return, so it looks like they'll be backed up a little bit as Grunkemeyer.
There's no foul on the play. The contact was real.
Okay, great field position for Grunkemeyer here. And Gus, you said it in the open. I absolutely agree with you. He played pretty well in that first half last week against Ohio State. That's the nation's leading defense. By the way, he's faced now 3 of the top 5 defenses in all of college football in his first 3 starts. I expect him to take another positive step forward here today, but make no mistake about it, it's about that run game and establishing those veteran backs early.
Iowa, Ohio State, and now Indiana. First 3 starts for Grunkemeyer. Welcome to Penn State football on first down. They run it. It's Kaytron Allen, and he'll pound his way forward and pick up about 4. Offensively, let's look at Penn State.
Well, this offensive line has a tough task ahead of them because of the activity and the violence that Indiana plays with up front. Now, on the outside, I already talked about these 2 backs. They also need to find a weapon on the outside, whether it's a tight end like Luke Reynolds, Trevor Pena, who came in so productive for Syracuse a year ago. They need somebody on the outside to step up, make plays for the young quarterback.
Second down and 6 at the 46. Allen in the backfield. Here's Grunkemeyer. Quick toss, far side, caught. Pena. And he'll pick up a first down. I tell you, we saw Trevor Pena last year in the Holiday Bowl with Syracuse, and he was terrific with Kyle McCord.
He absolutely was. And, Gus, I thought it was a first down as well. I think, oh, yeah, okay, they ruled his knee down right at the catch point. So it will be a 3rd and short here for Penn State. But I agree with you. Pena is that type of guy that understands space. He can make plays, highly productive a year ago, over 80 catches at Syracuse for Kyle McCord. They led the country throwing the football. Just hasn't materialized here.
Had 109 catches for 10 touchdowns at Syracuse. Allen looking for the first down. He'll get that lean, and it looks like he has it. They give it to him. So Penn State with the first down.
Nice tough run here from Kaytron Allen. 220, and look at Grunkemeyer, almost fumbled that snap. And Allen just barely gets to the line to gain. But I got to tell you, you wonder coming into this game with the way the season has gone for Penn State. First game at home since James Franklin was fired, if they could get the crowd behind him, and they have.
Here's Allen, and he'll be tackled in the backfield for a loss. Let's take a look at the Indiana defense.
Yeah, this defensive line is terrific. Mikhail Kamara up front. He's probably their best guy at defensive end. Number 4, Aiden Fisher, their All-American linebacker. He's been battling a knee injury, but he looks to be healthy. And their best player, I think, on defense, and the key to the structure of their defense, is their corner, D'Angelo Pons. He can take away half the field. It allows them to rotate, provide numbers elsewhere. Number 5 is a terrific player.
Little guy, 5'9", 173 pounds. Allen running left, turns it up. Little juke, and he'll lean forward. Gains 5 on the play. Aiden Fisher with the tackle.
Looks like Penn State's going to go quickly here. A little fast tempo, right on the ball.
On 3rd down and 7. They'll run it again. Allen breaking tackles. Kaytron. Fat man picks up a first. He came into this game 688 yards rushing on 119 carries, 10 touchdowns.
I just love this physical run over here off of the left side. He's going to get behind some of those offensive linemen and just runs right through contact in order to move the chains. That's a big first down with the good field position that they started this drive with. You got to get this crowd behind you, get points on this opening series. That was a big run there to move the chains.
First down and 10 at the 38, opening series for Penn State. Andy Kotelnicki, the offensive coordinator. He's got 4 receivers at the bottom of your screen. Here's Grunkemeyer, sprints out, delivers. Pena, they're really trying to get him into the act. This is an incomplete pass. But when you look at Kotelnicki's offense, it's very creative.
Yeah, a lot of movement, a lot of motions. You look around the country, they shift and motion about as much as anybody in college football. He calls it distortion. Well, the defense has to stay disciplined, and there, Pena just can't hold on.
Brings up 2nd down and 10 at the 38. Kaytron Allen bottled up, and Kaytron Allen will not get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose 2 on the play.
Here's another huge 3rd down, and this one way behind the chains. And this is when Indiana is so good. I want you to pay attention up front for Indiana with their defensive line. What they love to do is they love to twist and stunt, and they do a great job of getting somebody free in the face of the quarterback. There's Bryant Haynes, the defensive coordinator, one of the best in college football. I assume they'll be running one of those twists here on 3rd and long.
3rd down and 12 at the 40. Singleton now in the backfield. Grunkemeyer to throw it. Drops it off and incomplete. Devontae Ross the target. That brings up 4th down and 12.
On a no man's land as it relates to field position and a field goal attempt. This ball just behind Devontae Ross, transferred in from Troy. At Troy, he had 129 catches in his career. He was a first-team All-Sun Belt wide receiver. And Terry Smith is going to send the punt unit on the field.
Gabe Wosu will punt it away from the 45. Jonathan Brady, the deep man. And this ball will be downed inside the 15. A 26-yard punt. Time for today's Game Flow, sponsored by Progressive. Happy Valley, Penn State, Indiana on offense after this. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business. Connecting changes everything. And by Progressive Insurance, home and auto coverage you can count on. All right, play the Fox Super 6 College Football Challenge. Download the Fox Sports app right now and enter for free for a shot to win your share of 5,000 big ones in cash prizes. See the Fox Sports app for details. And welcome back. No score, 8-12 to play in the first. Indiana ready to take over once again. And they will start at their own 14 for Fernando Mendoza. He'll hand it off. Hemby running left, and Hemby breaks a tackle. Zion Tracy came up, made the hit, but these backs love to run with their pads low downhill.
Yeah, I tell you, they're physical runners, veteran guys, both of them. Hemby transferred in from Maryland. He's 6 foot 210. Kalon Black, he's a 5th-year senior. He transferred with Signetti from JMU. And even Kobe Martin got in the act last week. They run physical, no wasted movement.
2nd down and 2 at the 22. And the handoff to Black. And Black tripped up in the backfield. Guess who? DeLuca again.
Boy, that's a couple of really nice plays for DeLuca here early in this game. Just trips up that left foot of Kalon Black as he's trying to get over there around that left side. You know, Indiana was heavily left-handed running the football last week against Maryland. They were struggling with the health of their offensive line. Khalil Benson, their right tackle, was banged up last week, limping around a little bit. They tried to run it left almost exclusively, and Penn State was ready.
3rd down and 5 of the 19. Trips at the top of your screen. Mendoza to throw it. Now he runs it looking for the first, and he gets it. Campbell with the tackle, but that's what makes Mendoza a little different. He can use his legs.
Yeah, it seems like there's 2, 3, 4 times a game where he's going to have an opportunity to pick up a first down. Great block right here from Kalon Black, number 8, on Dom DeLuca in the middle of the field. Just gives him enough space to get the line to gain. That quarterback draw has been effective for Indiana all season long.
1st down at the 31. Mendoza guns it to the far side, caught by E.J. Williams Jr., and he will get 4. E.J. Williams Jr., 2 catches, 15 yards last week against Maryland.
Yeah, E.J. Williams as well as Omar Cooper are going to need to step up with Elijah Surratt out. Surratt's really their true number 1 wide receiver. Last week when he wasn't playing that much, Omar Cooper had a big day, 7 catches for 86 yards. He's going to have another big day today.
Waffle House on the sideline with a hammy. 2nd and 6 at the 35. Black. And he'll get through the hole, gain a yard, maybe 2, before being gang tackled.
Well, this team does such a good job of putting themselves in manageable 3rd down situations. In fact, they're the best in college football when it comes to 3rd down conversions. A lot of that is they've got the fewest yards to convert.
Would you say that this Penn State team is the most talented defensive team, just talent alone, maybe even a little more than Oregon?
Well,
not really.
Not over Ohio State. Maybe that Indiana has seen. but Indiana has also seen Iowa.
And Mendoza dancing. Mendoza sideline. Caught by Holden. Stays, and it's a first down.
And there is a banged up Nittany Lion. That's number 54, Xavier Gillum. You see on the outside, here's Holden Stays, the tight end, and he just works his way right over to the sideline, keeps that left foot in, and Dom DeLuca couldn't get over there quite in time. That's one of the things Mendoza does so well, finding those guys when he scrambles out of the pocket.
So they ruled the last play an incomplete pass.
Well, I was just focused on his feet, Gus, but watch here at the end. That ball juggles around in his hands, and they didn't feel like he had firm control. See right here, that ball is still being juggled as Stays is out of bounds, and so it is fourth down, and Indiana will have to punt it away.
So great job by this Penn State defense denying IU on their first two possessions of the football. Mitch McCarthy will punt it away from the 21. Pena back deep at the 20. This ball goes out of bounds at the 25. A 38-yard punt. So coming up, Katron Allen and the Nittany Lions on offense right after this. Are you fan enough? Sponsored by Dr. Pepper. It's a Pepper thing. One of the great places to watch a college football game in America. Beaver Stadium. No score. Here's an interesting fact for you folks. Indiana has not gone scoreless in a first quarter this season. Penn State with the football, 4:45 to play in the first. Katron Allen, he'll take it on the toss. Allen hopping, and he'll glide to the 30. Moore with the tackle, gain of 4.
Well, here they come. They bring these extra O-linemen on the field to run this sweep. This toss play worked really well for them early in that game against Ohio State. They go right back to it.
Second down and 6 at the 30. They'll go the other way with Allen. Allen with a hole. And Katron Allen stopped by Hardy. He'll gain 1.
Now another third down here. Got to sustain some drives. This defense has played well early. You don't want to put them right back on the football field against this Indiana offense and allow Indiana to figure out what they're doing defensively. So it's really imperative that Penn State puts together a drive here, and it starts with converting on this snap.
They need 5 on third down at the 31. Singleton lines up next to Grunkemeyer. Here comes a blitz. Grunkemeyer, and he's dropped. Hardy got back there. A loss of 4.
Man, I just love these designs. Look, they've got 3 players on the defensive line, but then they overload with a 4th rusher to this left side. And you can see they get a free rusher right in the face of the quarterback, Elijah Hardy, and he's able to get inside for a sack. Again, beautiful design on third down, and they present a lot of pressure on that offensive line.
Wosu will send it away inside his own 15. End over end kick. And fair caught by Brady at the 31, a 41-yard punt. Fernando Mendoza having a spectacular season for IU. He'll be leading the charge after this. Big News Saturday is sponsored by Pacific Life, building confident futures for nearly 160 years. Fox Sports proudly salutes our nation's veterans and the organizations that serve them every day. Our veterans deserve to live with dignity and independence, not on the streets. That is why we are making Camo our cause this Veterans Day in support of the Honor U.S. Vets campaign. To donate and learn how you can help end veteran homelessness, visit go.fox/USVets. We've had a combined 4 possessions and 4 punts. Fernando Mendoza and IU from their own 32-yard line. Play fake. Mendoza looks backside over the middle. Caught deep. And it's Charlie Becker 8th reception of the year, and that's good for 53 yards. Elliott Washington brings him down.
This is a beautiful throw, but maybe even a better read. The safety went to the opposite side, and there's Charlie Becker. Only 7 catches on the entire season, but with Elijah Surratt out, someone needs to step up, and it's Becker who gets his number called here in the first quarter and delivers down the field.
Sophomore from Nashville, Tennessee, Charlie Becker. First down at the 15. And Hemby. Ambushed in the backfield. Amari Campbell, the middle linebacker.
It looks like Zion Tracy, number 7, is shaken up on the field. Safety for Penn State. He really plays that nickelback position in the middle of the field. Now, he was a little slow getting up earlier. But here he's just defending a route right here, and Becker hits him.
Looks like he got the wind knocked out of him.
Let's hope it's just that. Earlier in the game, Gus, on a previous series, he came flying up to the line of scrimmage, and there was huge contact with him and the back, Roman Hemby. And he was a little slow to get up after that play. And he was favoring one of those shoulders when it happened, and Becker right there, after the long catch down the field, threw a devastating block on Zion Tracy.
Looks like Tracy will be okay. 2nd and 13 at the 18 for Indiana. Hemby switches to the other side. Mendoza to throw it. Mendoza steps up in the pocket, gets away from pressure. Touchdown IU. Wow. Fernando Mendoza showing his legs, and that's an 18-yard touchdown run. And you talked about Mendoza and his wheels with Cignetti in our conference call this week.
Well, and look at what we've got. These safeties in the back end, they're locked on, and they're playing kind of a bracket coverage, means that they're locked on these outside receivers. But because of that, there's no one left for the quarterback. And as the defensive line separates, there's Mendoza, and he takes off right through the middle of the field. That's something that has really hurt Penn State all year long. It devastated them against UCLA with Nico Iamaleava. And here's Fernando Mendoza in the end zone.
And the extra point by Radicic is good. 3 plays covering 68 yards. Curt Cignetti's offense scores in 1 minute and 20 seconds.
I tell you, he does such a good job. You would never think of him as a dynamic threat with his legs. But every time you turn on the game film, he's scrambling around multiple times per game, getting himself loose and creating either first downs or touchdowns. Came into today having accounted for 29 touchdowns on the year. That's best in college football. Gus, now that's his 30th total touchdown, 5th on the ground. So Mendoza doing his best. Fernando Heisman-doza.
There you go.
Here early in this game.
2 Big Ten players are being considered for the Heisman Trophy. Fernando Mendoza here at Indiana, Julian Sayin at Ohio State.
Both fabulous players. We've gotten to see both of them now in back-to-back weeks. And how about that series? You know,
and unfortunately, Penn State has seen both of them back-to-back.
That's exactly right.
IU sends it away, and this will be Singleton. Nick Singleton with a burst. And Nick Singleton's hard running. And he gets up to the 35. Ryan Day and Curt Cignetti of Ohio State and Indiana firing on all cylinders as they sit atop of the college football playoff rankings. They have revved their point differentials to historic highs, and that means that all signs point to Indianapolis, where they could play for the Big Ten championship on December 6th on Fox.
Say what a matchup that would be. And One of the things that I love about both of those programs, and in particular on offense, is that they have answers. And early in this game, Penn State taking away the run game of Indiana. So what do? They go up top. They get their quarterback loose. They've got answers.
First down at the 33. Grunkemeyer goes through his progressions. Now he decides to run it. Nice move, cut, and he'll get to the 40 or close to it. About a 6-yard gain. Hosea Wheeler with the tackle.
You know, there's just nothing open. They're trying to get an over route here from the left side, a little wheel route to the front side, but the defense has their eyes in the backfield. A lot of zone coverage from Indiana. They run more zone coverage than most teams in college football. And Grunkemeyer's just got to tuck it away. And when I watch Penn State, Gus, here's a constant, is that there's not pictures being provided to quarterback. These wide receivers just don't get open.
Singleton, nowhere to go. And he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. Tyreek Tucker with the tackle, loss of 1.
And then there's that front 7 showing up, providing another opportunity for a third down. Now, we saw in the last series the creativity from Bryant Haynes, the defensive coordinator, and a way to present pressure on Grunkemeyer. They overloaded that right side of the defense.
Closing moments of the first quarter, 3rd and 5 at the 38 for the Nittany Lions. Grunkemeyer, quick toss out wide. Pena trying to get the first, and he will not. He'll come up a yard and a half short. And that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. A decision has to be made for Penn State. We'll see if they go for it. Down 7-0.
Coach, Fernando Mendoza getting it done on the ground there. How would you evaluate your offense after that first quarter?
The first play of the series was good. Second down hurt us the first couple drives. Last drive was big. Becker on the post. Fernando with his legs. Gave up too much on the kickoff return. So we'll see what happens here on 4th down.
Thanks for the time.
Thanks.
All right, thank you very much, Jen. Let's see what happens on 4th down. Penn State with their offense on the field facing a 4th down and 1. They'll get to the line of scrimmage quickly. Play fake. They drop it off in the flats, and it is Rapalje, and he has the first down. Andrew Rapalje.
So they go a little play action here. Fake it to Nick Singleton. Out into the flat. They're able to get the line to gain, and they stay on the field. That is a big completion. I know it's a short play, but you give the ball to Indiana on the plus side of the 50, it's likely going to be 14-0 real quick. So a monster conversion for Terry Smith and this Penn State offense.
First down at the 44. Singleton, the pistol back. Grunkemeyer again drops it off. This time it's Dinkins. Khalil Dinkins, 11th catch of the year. This time good for 6.
You know, there's been so much focus on the wide receivers and trying to get the production from the wide receivers. But really, through the years, the position group that has been highly productive for Penn State has been the tight ends. Obviously, with Tyler Warren a year ago, that was the case. He was an All-American. And they just haven't gotten these guys going, whether it's Rapalje or Reynolds. Khalil Dinkins there with a catch. And if they can get the run game going, those tight ends tend to show up in the passing game.
2nd down and 4 at midfield. Singleton. They pitch it to him, and he's gobbled up. At the same time, he catches the ball. Daly just shot out of a cannon. A loss of 6 yards.
I mean, he was up the field like crazy right away, aggressive, and he's right there. Singleton is lucky that he was even able to catch that pitch and hang on to it as he's contacted right away. Stephen Daly transferred in from Kent State. At Kent State, Gus, he had 103 tackles, 15 and a half of them tackle for loss in 34 games played, and he fits what Kurt Signetti talks about, production over potential. That's certainly what he has.
Therefore, we have a 3rd down and 10 at the 44. Grunkemeyer looking. Grunkemeyer underneath. Caught. Pena still on the move. Pena breakaway. Oh, and he gets tripped up deep in Indiana territory. Folks, this kid can play. We saw him in San Diego last year. That's a gain of 45.
Beautiful route down the field. Now they need time to throw it, but right there, a little stutter step, and he's able to create separation. Beautiful throw from Ethan Grunkemeyer, and a big play that Penn State desperately needed. They moved the chains on that fourth down in the last subset, and then bang, right down the field to Trevor Pena, and they're inside the 15.
A three-star recruit who originally committed to Temple out of Ocean Township High School in New Jersey. Went to Syracuse, 1st and 10, now at Penn State. Here's a handoff, Nick Singleton fighting, and he'll get down to the 5-yard line or close to it before being wrapped up by Boykin.
Well, they can still get a first down at the 3-yard line, but they have to get a touchdown on this drive.
2nd down and 3. Singleton, stutter step, first down, Nittany Lions. And we saw how effective they were last week in the red zone against Ohio State.
And Ohio State's the best red zone defense in college football. They got the ball on the perimeter a couple of times against that Ohio State team, and they were able to punch it in. Nick Singleton, it's a bit of a rhythm here. I got to tell you, this is absolutely 4-down territory, Gus. This ball has got to get into the end zone if you're Terry Smith and the Nittany Lions.
1st down and goal at the 2. Penn State offensive line moving some people now. Singleton again. Touchdown, Penn State.
I tell you, these blocks on the outside over here on the left. Watch Nolan Rucci, the tackle, and Khalil Dinkins, the tight end. Bang! Mash him way down. Dinkins up on the linebacker, and Singleton gets behind his pads, and he's in the end zone.
Ryan Barker comes in to attempt the extra point, the equalizer. And we are level at 7. 11:08 to go in the first half. Grunkemeyer and Pena. Singleton. Penn State fighting.
Pacific Life Game Summary is sponsored by Pacific Life, building confident futures for nearly 160 years. 7-7 here in Happy Valley. Fernando Mendoza got it going on the last series offensively for Indiana. 88 total yards and a rushing touchdown, but Ethan Grunkemeyer, Nick Singleton, and Penn State answer him right back. What a monster drive that was to equalize this thing here in the second quarter.
Look at you saying equalize. That's what I learned when I was doing soccer. You got to say equalizer, and then once it is equalized, you say you're level.
Level. Level is 7.
That's right. Hemby with the fair catch. Let's go downstairs and check in with Jen.
Gus, I gotta admit, it felt good to hear those Penn State fans excited, celebrated, singing. You know, Terry Smith told us yesterday, he put out a little bit of a rally cry to the fans. You gotta support these kids. We want to hear your cheers. And their captain, Nick Dawkins, told us, I don't know how the fans will receive us. It has been a long month away, but truly the worst is behind us. We still get to play the game that we love. And by the way, Beaver Stadium is still the hardest place to play in college football. We got to use that to our advantage.
All right, Virginia have to always keep in mind that this team was a couple of plays away from potentially playing for the national championship last year. Here's Mendoza, near side throw. Nowakowski with the grab. He's close to the first down.
Well, Indiana last week, they started that game with 2 empty drives to start the game. Then they scored on their next 8. Here today, their first 2 drives, empty. Next drive, right down the field, score a touchdown. We'll see if they can retain that rhythm that they were able to establish on the last possession.
2nd and 3 at the 32. Black with a hole, first down and more. Kaylon Black, the James Madison transfer, just having a terrific season. 14 carries, 110 yards and a touchdown last week against Terps.
Gus, we talked about this already, but look at the tough running. You know, you just got the behind the pads fighting. every yard, they're always running for plus yardage. If it's blocked for 4, they gain 6. If it's blocked for 6, they gain 12. Plus runners, both of these backs.
He gains 10 on that play. 1st and 10 at the 42. Black remains in the game. They hand it to him. And this time, a different story. He gets dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Zariah Fisher. That's a loss of 1. But one reason this Indiana team is good, not only with the acquisition of Mendoza, but how about Pat Coogan, their center, the Notre Dame transfer, who played in the national championship last year.
Yeah, he's been terrific for them and certainly a leader for them up front. I would also credit Carter Smith, their left tackle, number 65. Both of these guys playing at an all Big Ten level. This offensive line is playing outstanding. Possibly the Joe Moore Award winner for the best offensive line in college football.
2nd down and 11 at the 41. Mendoza in trouble. Mendoza wants to run it again. Mendoza, and he's chopped down. Short of the 1st down on 2nd and 11. They give him 7. Pressure by Ty Blanding for Penn State.
But his ability to elude is so impressive. Gus, that's about to be a 3rd and 11. You know, he's dead to rights back there in the pocket, and yet he's able to wiggle free somehow, some way, and get himself up the field to create a more manageable 3rd down.
3rd down and 4 from the 48. Mendoza, here come the Nittany Lions, and they'll drop him. This time they bring him down, but a flag on the play. Denied. Dennis Sutton with the sack.
Holding, defense number 2, 10-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Oh, that is a back-breaking penalty. This defense can't get out of their own way in so many respects this year. When they finally make a play and get to the quarterback, get him down, they're called for a defensive holding over here. Number 2, Octavius Collins. I don't know about that. That was a very small grab. That was very ticky-tack.
1st down and 10 at the 42-yard line. Mendoza near far side, and it's Cooper reversing, and Cooper will not get back to the line of scrimmage. Amari Campbell finally there to clean it up, and it's a loss of 4.
Cooper is so good with the ball in his hands. You can see his ability to run the football. But how about the pursuit from Penn State there defensively? Even after that penalty, coming out, getting another tackle for loss here. This defense is playing well right now, Gus. They just can't get beat over the top. That's what hurt them on the last series.
And that's what hurt them against Ohio State last year. Last week, 2nd and 14. They'll run it straight ahead with Roman Hemby. Hemby with over 600 yards rushing on the season. They give him 8 on this one.
Such an effective run on 2nd and long. And produces a more manageable 3rd down. Well, this pass rush has been able to get some pressure. We saw him get to Mendoza there. It was wiped away by that flag in the defensive secondary. Can they get to him again here on 3rd down?
3rd down and 6 at the 38. Black replaces Hemby. Penn State looks like they want to bring pressure. And it's Black fighting. Oh, what a great run by Kaylon Black. Talk about leg strength and drive and determination. He gets 8 on 3rd and 6, 1st down IU.
This play singularly is a microcosm of these 2 seasons. Indiana finding a way to create a 1st down. Meanwhile, Penn State in position and can't make the play. Time and time again, when you watch these 2 teams during the course of the season, plays like this occur.
1st down and 10. At the 30. Mendoza. Underneath. Caught. Nowakowski. And he'll be dropped inside the Penn State 15. A gain of 15.
I mean, just an excellent pick route right here. So watch Nowakowski. He's going to be coming across, and he gets kind of a block right here. But because he turns to the quarterback, it's not going to be called.
1st down to the 15-yard line. Near side throw caught by Cooper. And Cooper bottled up by Zion Tracy, no gain.
Now good to see him back on the field, Gus. Remember, he was down on the last possession, and that's a beautiful open field tackle. Somehow, some way, if you're Penn State, you've got to force a field goal right here.
Number 2 team in the nation, Indiana, undefeated. Terry Smith, though, he said, my guys will fight until the very end. 10th play of the drive coming up. That started at the 25, 2nd and 10. Mendoza, play fake. Mendoza in the corner, incomplete. Tracy in coverage on Omar Cooper. He was draped all over him.
That was insanely good coverage. Right here in the slot, they're matched up man to man. And you see Tracy just gets on his hip, and then he doesn't panic, and he fights right through that catch area. That was a really good throw. But see the coverage right there. Right when the ball arrives, he rips that right arm down. Cignetti, disgusted as he is normally.
3rd down and 10 of the 15. Listen to this crowd. They're still behind their Nittany Lions. Empty backfield for Mendoza. Trips up top. Mendoza under pressure. Mendoza, they can't get him. He throws, and it is caught. Charlie Becker again. And it's a 1st down. Alonzo Ford Jr. with pressure. And time again, Joel. Penn State with chances for losses, and they can't bring the man down.
I mean, 2 free rushers in the backfield, and Mendoza is able to escape, and then somehow drops down and gives that sidearm jump pass, and Becker goes to the back hip to catch it for a 1st down.
1st down and goal at the 5-yard line for IU. Hemby. And Hemby will not get back to the line of scrimmage. Bad snap on that play by Pat Coogan. Dixon with the tackle.
They put themselves in position, this defense, to make plays, and they just have not gotten it done. And now facing a team that is very good inside the 10-yard line.
2nd down and goal at the 5. Kaylon Black. Next to Mendoza. Here's Mendoza. Under pressure. He's down. This time they get to him. Dixon. Man, this Penn State defense is playing good today. A loss of 7.
What a great disguise. He looks like he's just in coverage, and then bang, he's in the backfield. Beautiful call by Jim Knowles, the defensive coordinator. And Dixon, the true freshman, comes up with the play.
Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business. Connecting changes everything. 3:16 to play, 2nd quarter from State College, Pennsylvania. Penn State, they've lost 5 straight games. Their coach was replaced, James Franklin, a wonderful coach. It was a nuclear bomb dropped on these young men. But right now, they're playing with the heart of the Lion against the number 2 team in the nation in Indiana. 14th play of the drive coming up for the Hoosiers. 3rd down and goal at the 12. Jim Knowles, the Penn State defensive coordinator. Will he bring pressure? Fernando Mendoza has met the pressure with his legs. 3rd and goal at the 12. Mendoza, here they come. And a flag.
Prior to snap, false start. Offense number 67. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Right in front of these students, it is loud in here. These Nittany Lion faithful have shown up for Terry Smith. They have shown up for these players, making an impact here in this ball game.
I used to call Terry Smith's games when he was in the CFL in Toronto. his nickname, Superfly, when he played here at Penn State. Right now, this Nittany Lion defense playing super. 3rd down and goal at the 17. Mendoza under pressure, throws, caught, Cooper, but he won't get the first down or the touchdown. He gained 7, dropped at the 10 by Wheatley.
All the way across the field for Cooper. Mendoza again flushed out of the pocket, and here's Cooper, but Penn State is able to get him down to the ground. Great tackle there by Davion Collins, and they're forcing Indiana into a field goal opportunity.
Nico Radicic in to attempt a 28-yarder. Radicic has been excellent this year, 10 for 10. And this one is good. Indiana taking a 10-7 lead with 2:30 to play here in the second quarter. All right, the Big Ten standings. Indiana, Ohio State, both undefeated. Buckeyes will take on Purdue in West Lafayette this week. How about SC? Nice win last night against Northwestern. Lincoln Riley's team 7-2. Michigan's off. Oregon takes on Iowa right now. Minnesota off. And then there is the Washington Huskies with a terrific record as well at 6-2. Overall, 3-2 in the conference.
Our Big Ten standing sponsored by Discover. Don't forget to tune into the Discover Big Ten Championship game presented by Discover, December 6th on Fox.
I'm sorry, were you supposed to take that one?
No, I was basically just Dagger support there. I was ready on the aircraft carrier. I was ready to go. Dagger support launch.
Superfly, Terry Smith. Man, his guys prepared for this game. He had to calm everybody down after Coach Franklin left the program. Kids were emotional, confused, hurt.
They're playing hard today, though, aren't they?
They are.
I mean, they are playing hard. It's fun to watch.
First down at the 22. Katron Allen. What a power back. Gains 3.
You know, this is an offense that has really struggled throwing the ball down the field. There's been way too much throwing the football right at or near the line of scrimmage. They got that ball to Pena down the field. I wonder if they'll go back to something like that here on this series. It looks like they'll just take it to the 2-minute timeout.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. Close game, 10-7 Indiana, but the Nittany Lions have the football.
Coming up on the State Farm Halftime, we got a battle for Big 12 supremacy between BYU and Texas Tech. Georgia getting all they can handle from Mississippi State and all them cowbells, plus top-ranked Ohio State trying to keep it rolling at Purdue. Gus and Joel, see you fellas at the half.
See, Sergeant Mike, he's just looking a little too good. Got the 3-piece suit on. You know what that smells like, Joel?
What's that?
Money! Sergeant Mike Hill.
Money Mike Hill.
Money Mike. Ooh. Kendrick Lamar. Second down and 7 of the 25 for Penn State. Katron Allen remains in the backfield. Ethan Grunkemeyer. He'll throw it. Now wants to run and will get far. Tyreek Tucker with the tackle.
Trying to throw a short route underneath, but the defense is just sitting all over it. I'm wondering why Indiana is not taking their time out here on a 3rd down to try to save some time. Could force a punt, get the ball back. I have no idea why Kurt Signetti is not taking a timeout right here.
3rd down and 8 at the 24. Let's see if Grunkemeyer looks for Pena, number 8. Grunkemeyer in trouble. Allen. And he'll be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. He coughed it up. Indiana says they have the football, but it looked like he was down.
I think the officials gave it to him here on the near side. Fisher was in there, and it looks like they did give it to him. What a play here for Indiana. Ball comes out late to Katron Allen, and here it's secured. Now he's got the football move. When does it come loose, and when does that left knee go down? Jamari Sharp. Oh, that ball is out.
That ball is out.
That knee is not down. The shin is not down as he's losing control. The right call by the official on the field. That's a tough break because Katron, you can see that ankle is getting bent under Sharp. Ball comes out. There's Fisher, Johnny on the spot. They're able to get the ball, and now Indiana right back on the field offensively after settling for a field goal with a timeout left that they didn't call and a minute 9.
Tough break for Penn State. IU. 1st and 10 at the 22. Chris Cody is your referee today.
Penn State has called timeout to challenge the ruling on the field.
Well, I understand why Terry Smith would do this because it was certainly close, but by the looks, Gus, that we already saw, it looked like that was the correct ruling on the field.
Mikey Rulebooks, Mike Pereira, our rules analyst, joins us now. Mike, your thoughts?
Yeah, you kind of hate to waste a timeout, which is what I think they're doing here because, you know, replay had to clear it already before they were going to snap the ball next. Now, there is 2 elements, right? There is the element, was the ball out, which it was, and then was there a clear recovery by the defense, which there was. So it is kind of a challenge that's going to cost them a timeout.
And he was going down. That ball you could see just hit the helmet of Sharp, the corner. Watch, see right there, and it's just that graze of the helmet. That's what knocks the ball loose. And then there's the recovery as Fisher, in the immediate action, was able to jump on the football. And just a massive play. You know, Penn State puts their offense back on the field. That defensive series, Gus, you know that took a lot out of Penn State to force that field goal. And now not only are they back on the field, but they've got a short field.
The ruling on the field is upheld. It's 1st down Indiana.
And Indiana
Penn State has charged its first timeout and may not challenge for the remainder of the game.
Is so opportunistic. They force a lot of turnovers, 18 on the season, but what they do better than anybody is convert those into points. Best in college football, converting these turnovers, over 70 points on the year. And this one just sitting right here, right outside of the 20-yard line.
Thing about this Indiana team, more than anything, they don't hurt themselves.
Yeah, really, really well-coached team. Kurt Cignetti was the National Coach of the Year a year ago and certainly could get that award once again this year.
1st down and 10 at the Penn State 22 for IU. Mendoza fires, incomplete. No, and late flags on the play. E.J. Williams, the intended receiver.
Pass interference, defense number 16. 1st down at the spot of the foul.
That's King Mack.
Well, E.J. Williams is a big frame wide receiver, 6'3", 205. You can see King Mack definitely arrives early as they're trying to get that crossing route over from the offense's right side.
2 penalties, 22 yards against the Nittany Lions. 1st down and goal at the 10. Mendoza to the corner, caught, and down at the 1. Charlie Becker has been wonderful. A.J. Harris with the tackle.
I mean, this is a great ball by Mendoza, but how about the strong catch from Becker? Because that ball was punched at by A.J. Harris, and he still hung on.
2nd and goal at the 1. The handoff, Black. And now Penn State, Zane Durant with the tackle, but it's a touchdown.
What a turn of events, and now Black, who we've seen time and again here today, fight through contact, keep his legs churning. VAR official has the correct view, and you can see him on the ground there across the goal line for the touchdown.
Kaylon Black, 5th rushing touchdown this season. Had one last week against Maryland.
Just doesn't stop, does he? First contact, legs always moving, strong veteran back. Zane Durant, the defensive tackle, came back for his senior year. One of the reasons why everyone was so high on this Penn State team. Remember, this Penn State team started number 2 in the country, and it has obviously gone south for Penn State. But a guy like Zane Durant trying to put out great tape for his future in this sport, in position to make a play, and Kaylon Black just dragged him into the end zone. It's so impressive. Kaylon Black, remember, Black was a transfer with Signetti from JMU.
After review, the ruling on the field is upheld. Touchdown.
And Gus, it's just every carry, first contact, doesn't matter. He just keeps going. We've seen it on third downs, now here at the goal line. Strong run from Kaylon Black.
5'10", 211. Hemby, 6 feet, 210. These guys are little Tonka trucks. You probably don't remember what a Tonka truck is.
Oh, you bet I remember Tonka trucks.
Your boys?
Well, not my boys.
They don't play with trucks anymore.
Not anymore. No.
There's video games everywhere. And Radicic. Extra point good. Self-inflicted wounds by the Nittany Lions. Could have gone into the locker room trailing 10-7. Instead, it's 17-7. Indiana with 10 points in a span of 1 minute and 52. Start your Saturday strong as Michigan clashes with Northwestern at a special venue, historic Wrigley Field. It all starts with big noon kickoff at 10 a.m. Eastern, live from the heart of Chicago. Then it's Michigan Northwestern, big noon Saturday, only on Fox. Wolverines off this weekend. We've got some injury problems, trying to heal up. Justice Haynes may be lost for the remainder of this season with a foot injury.
You can just see how deflated Penn State is. They played a good half of football, and just like that, the gut punch. Turn it over. Indiana puts it in.
And this one fair caught at the 20-yard line. Penn State will get the football to start the second half. So with 38 seconds to go and 2 timeouts, let's see what Ethan Grunkemeyer and the offense chooses to do.
Whatever they do, they better take care of the football, because this Indiana team is about as opportunistic as they come. 5 takeaways last week. That boosted them up to number 6 in the country with 18 takeaways. Now have one here today. Offense was able to punch it right in.
First down to the 25. Singleton lines up next to Grunkemeyer. Here's Grunkemeyer. Drops it off to Singleton in space. Singleton, nice move. Finally wrestled down by Fisher. He'll gain 5.
Gosh, he just flies around.
He's violent.
Every play, it seems like number 4 is near the football.
2nd and 5. Grunkemeyer, near side, first down, caught. Khalil Dinkins. 10 seconds to go. And Penn State uses a timeout.
He was just a hair short of that first down, so the clock didn't stop, didn't get out of bounds.
Tonight on Fox, heavyweights from the SEC and Big Ten collide as John Calipari's 14th ranked Arkansas Razorbacks take on Tom Izzo's 22nd ranked Michigan State Spartans. That's tonight at 7 Eastern on Fox.
Man, Gus, I saw the slate of basketball that we've got at Fox that you'll be calling here in the next few months. It looks good.
Man, oh man, Shevitz, yes. We've added the Big 12 to our coverage this year, folks, at Fox Sports. And we can't wait. Kansas, Houston, Baylor. Oh,
BYU.
BYU, they got a player down there at BYU, or out there at BYU, that they spent a lot of money on. So looking forward to seeing all that action this year. College hoops on Fox. Now they're going to look back to see if it actually was a first down and how much time was on the clock. And the call on the field, he was down short of the line to gain.
Had to get all the way to the 35-yard line. Here's Dinkins. You can see he was I could see them giving Dinkins the 35. So if they award him the 35, that means the clock would stop at 16. So they would put those seconds back on the clock, and it would be first down for Penn State. And they would also, I believe, give him the timeout back. It looked like as he spun off of contact, that ball, when he landed, was right on the 35. And remember, any part of that ball touches the 35-yard line, and that would be a first down.
After review, the ruling on the field is upheld. It's third down.
All right, never mind.
So 9 seconds left. Third down and 1 for Penn State. Dinkins in motion. Ruckemeyer hands it off. And they'll pick up the first down this time. Daly, but with the tackle. And now Ruckemeyer let it fly. Far side, Dinkins. And that's the end of the first half. 17-7 the score. Halftime. Time now for Mike Hill, Chris Peterson, and Bruce Feldman standing by with the State Farm halftime show for Penn State. Here we go. And this one kicked out of bounds, so Penn State will get solid field position to start the second half as Ethan Ruckemeyer comes back onto the field.
5-yard line.
Let's go downstairs to Jen.
Well, Gus, Coach Cignetti, all business before the game, all business with me right now. He said the first thing he addressed, there were still too many missed opportunities for the group. Our mindset in the second needs to be, it's nothing. We need to make sure these fans turn on them a little bit, but that turnover and touchdown before the half was huge for my group. For Penn State, with Terry Smith, he said, overall, I like the way our defense is fighting. We got to continue to eliminate those explosives. The message this week was all about no exclusive. They got to keep playing.
Here's Ruckemeyer firing the deep ball. And incomplete. Devontae Ross was the intended receiver. D'Angelo Pons in coverage.
It's tough to throw against D'Angelo Pons. I mentioned him early in this game. It's tough to say his name otherwise because generally offenses don't throw it his way. His coverage is tremendous. This guy transferred from JMU with Cignetti, and he has been outstanding. 5'9", 173 pounds. And Gus, he's really the whole key piece to this defense. If you watch, he's always on the far side, the short side of the field, and they'll roll away from him in coverage.
Second down and 10. Ruckemeyer again. Intercepted Fisher. Aiden Fisher with it at midfield. Second turnover of the day forced by Indiana. Ball deflected by Jamari Sharp.
Just thrown a little far towards the left. You're going to get a hook route here on the left side. The timing is correct, but the ball is just outside of reach of the wide receiver, Kyron Hudson. And once it's a tip, tips and overthrows always wind up in the hands of the defense, in particular a defense as opportunistic as this Indiana defense. This is reminiscent of last week against Maryland. All of a sudden, that turnover machine starts to crank, and that's when this offense really starts going.
So Indiana takes over at midfield, first down. Here's the run for Hemby, and he just slashes through the Penn State defense for a gain of 7.
Now, this team is so good in the second half, this Indiana team. Defensively, they're the best second half team in college football, but offensively, this is when they start to really lean on that run game. They are plus 163 point differential in the second half. That is best in college football, and it's in part because they can control the line of scrimmage with that run game.
Second down and 3 at the 43. Hemby stretches it out, turns it up, and a first down. Stopped by Belgrave Shorter.
I got to give some love here to the tight end. He doesn't get mentioned a lot. This is Nowakowski out on the outside. Look at him just help Benson, his right tackle, with a little shove. Then he gets up to the second level. He gets a block on Dom DeLuca. You know, you need those unheralded players to play quality offense, and Riley Nowakowski is certainly one of them. Great blocker, and he's got a few catches on the year as well.
First down and 10 at the 35. Hemby, another huge hole, and another first down. Drew Evans and Pat Coogan just parted the Red Sea. And that's a gain of 11.
You know, Evans is injured out of this game, so it's Ajani over at left guard who's playing incredible football right now. Number 72. This is a third-string guy. Zen Mahalski is also down. He played left guard last week. Ajani is their third left guard, and he's been outstanding.
First down to the 24. Mendoza goes through his progression, scrambles, drops it off to Charlie Becker, who has been balling out today. Charlie Becker, his 4th catch, and he's closing in on 100 yards.
And we thought about this passing game. Elijah Surratt, their true number 1, out of this game. Gus, what do you call him? Waffle House, always open. And because of that hamstring injury, they're down a receiver, and it's been Charlie Becker. He's been Johnny on the spot so far today.
4 catches, 78 yards. Second and 4 at the 18. Black this time, looking for the first down, and he has it. A.J. Harris with the tackle.
You know, partner, you touched on something now a couple of times, and it's so true. This team just doesn't beat themselves. You know, Indiana does not turn the football over. They convert on third down offensively. They get off the field on third down defensively.
They force turnovers.
They take the ball away as well as anybody. Now 2 already here today. That's 7 in the last 2 weeks already for Kurt Cignetti, who never seems to be happy or pleased.
Ever. Third down and 1 at the 15. Mendoza. And it's Kaylon Black. Let's see.
I don't think he got it. He needed to get all the way to the 14-yard line, and there is a Hoosier who's slow to get up, and I believe that's their right tackle, Khalil Benson. And he was struggling last week against Maryland, limping around. So he's had a hard time getting healthy, and now this offensive line gets very thin. I already mentioned all the injuries over at left guard.
And I just, during halftime, read an interesting article. 25 NFL scouts and executives have selected Fernando Mendoza as the first quarterback taken in the upcoming NFL draft if he elects to come out.
Well, he's certainly going to be in the running. There's no doubt. I think Ty Simpson, depending on whether he comes out, he would be in the running. You see Benson getting rolled up on in there, number 67. And they will bring in Zen Mahalski. He's been struggling with some health as well. He'll go in at right tackle now.
Big dude, 6'6", 210. Ohio State transfer. Indiana 5 for 13 on 4th downs this year, facing a 4th down and 1. And the handoff to Martin. Let's see.
Kobe Martin gets a touch here, and you can see he's fighting right there for the line to gain. He needed to get to the 14-yard line, and judging where he's contacted right there, that's Amari Campbell, number 24. You know, he gets stopped right there. He's short, and he never really gets a second effort to get all the way across that 14-yard line. Tough look with the angle right there. This is the best look that we've got. Boy, based on that look, that is tough. That is going to be incredibly tough to overturn. Terry Smith pleading his case over on the far sideline. Man, I was giving the ball to Kobe Martin there is putting a lot of trust in the redshirt freshman in particular. You know, Kalen Black has been so good today. Short yardage. We talked about those legs churning, and they go with Kobe Martin. And Martin had a quality day last week against Maryland. 11 carries for 80 yards. That's 7 a pop with a touchdown, but he gets a critical carry there on a 4th down.
Three backs with 80 yards or more last week for Indiana against Maryland. 1st down and 10 at the 14. Hemby, the deep back. They give it to him. Hemby cuts it inside and won't gain much, maybe a yard. Dennis Sutton with the tackle.
You know, with the way this Penn State offense is playing right now, Gus, this is already going to be a really steep comeback down 10. 17, it doesn't look good for Penn State. So this is a must stop on this set of downs. Try to force a field goal.
2nd and 9 at the 13 for Indiana. Mendoza in trouble. Mendoza backs it up and just gets rid of it out of bounds. Zane Durant with pressure.
Great coverage down the field by these defensive backs. Mendoza has been nearly perfect today. He's had a great day, 11 of 14 for 108, but it's been difficult. He's had to throw the ball in some tight windows, and he'll have to do it again here on 3rd down. And this is when Penn State has been able to put some pressure on Mendoza. We'll see if they can do it again.
3rd down and 9 at the 13. Becker in motion. They look that way and find Cooper. And Cooper, whoa, gobbled up by Tracy. Zion Tracy. Great open field tackle. No gain.
He's done that a couple of times, hasn't he? Gus, he has been great in the open field. He recognizes it, gets off the block of Becker, and then is able to get Cooper down. And Cooper is an excellent open field runner with the football in his hands. And Zion Tracy says, not so fast.
So that will bring on the field goal unit. Niko Radicic, good from 31 yards. Oh, from 31 yards, good from 28 yards today already. And just like clockwork, Radicic remains perfect on the season. 12 for 12, 20-7. IU.
It's a special 2-hour pregame show as we're joined by over 500 veterans and active duty members. Glenn Powell sets the stage for Tom Rinaldi, Tom Brady, Matthew Stafford, and Justin Jefferson, while Jay Glazer reports live from the nation's capital. Coverage begins at 11 Eastern.
All right, welcome back. 20-7. Indiana leading Penn State. Hoosiers ready to send it away. Nick Singleton, the deep man. Ethan Grunkemeyer trying to get something going with this Nittany Lion offense. This ball kicked into the end zone for a touchback. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Please drink responsibly. Coming up next on Fox, we've got Rocco Beck leading Iowa State against Josh Hoover and TCU. Then under the lights at 9 Eastern, it's a battle in the Big Ten as Nebraska takes on UCLA right here on Fox.
Yeah, that was a good win for USC last night.
Yep.
Friday night battle against Northwestern.
Think about it. USC's only 2 losses, Notre Dame and Illinois, on the road, a game that we called.
Yeah, and they had the lead in that game. Because they very easily could be a 1-loss team.
First down and 10 of the 25. They do have Oregon later on this year. Katron Allen. Not a lot. Aiden Fisher with the tackle, no gain.
Here's a look at our reliable performer, sponsored by AT&T Business. Reliability you can count on, and Aiden Fisher has been Mr. Reliable today. A couple of different takeaways. That one, the fumble recovery, the tip ball. Fisher is there, again, always in position, just made the last tackle. This guy is an All-American, Buckus caliber linebacker. He is the coach on the field for them, gets everybody lined up. He has been tremendous the last couple of years.
Second down and 10. Grunkemeyer underneath, caught, and it's Kyron Hudson. But when you think about turnovers for Indiana, how about this? Indiana has forced 10 turnovers in the last 3 games combined. 3 against UCLA, 5 against Maryland, and 2 here today.
That's always impressive. But Gus, it's even more impressive when you capitalize and turn those points into turnovers, or excuse me, points. Turn those turnovers into points, which is what Indiana does.
Third down and 1 at the 34. Singleton, Allen, both in the backfield this time. Grunkemeyer, shovel pass inside, and a first down. Katron Allen, that worked last week against Ohio State, and it's a gain of 5.
Yeah, they've got an extra offensive lineman in the game here, and they're going to create flow this way, but just sneak Katron Allen right into the middle of that line of scrimmage for the little shovel pass, and they're able to move the chains. This is a big series here. You know, Indiana, Penn State's in danger of Indiana running away with this game. And they need to put together a sustained drive, keep their defense off the field, and end this series with points.
First down at the 39. Grunkemeyer. Nice throw. Guess who? Trevor Pena. At the 40, gains 21. First down, Penn State.
Yeah, and it's very obvious here in the second half. Andy Kotelnicki got the directive from Terry Smith that, hey, we need to get the ball down the field. And these short passing attempts at or near the line of scrimmage have vanished, and they've tried to throw it down the field. Now, they've thrown 1 pick, but right there, beautiful concept that clears out an area for Pena to work, and Grunkemeyer threw a beautiful ball.
First down at the Indiana 40 for Penn State. Grunkemeyer, short, Singleton, no. This time, it's Isaiah Jones, who's Aiden Fisher's backup, and that's a loss of 2.
And I tell you, Isaiah Jones has been tremendous as well for them. Gus, as a backup linebacker, he has 11.5 tackles for loss. And there he is again with a tackle behind the line of scrimmage. He has been excellent. This is a team filled with guys that are production guys. It doesn't matter how they were recruited or where they were recruited. They have come in here to Indiana, and they produce for Coach Cignetti.
Indiana with 8 tackles for loss. Grunkemeyer, play action. Grunkemeyer. Oh, he dropped a dime on Kobe Howard. You're right, Joel. Let this kid throw the ball down the field.
And that was a great throw. It's a layered throw. He's got to throw it over the linebacker. The linebacker is Aiden Fisher, who's trying to sink back into coverage, and he's got to go over the linebacker but short of the safety.
Gain of 22, Grunkemeyer. And that ball blown dead, a flag.
All players set prior to the snap. False start, 87. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Yeah, that's just one of those learning experiences for Ethan Grunkemeyer, and Terry Smith knows it. Again, he's only in his third start. You talk about baptism by fire. At Iowa, at Ohio State, and now here against Indiana, 3 of the top 5 defenses in college football. That's one of those things, Gus, you're in control as the quarterback. You got to make sure your formation is set, everyone's ready to go before you snap the ball. Just a quick little learning experience there for the young quarterback.
This kid's going to be good, folks. First down and 15. Grunkemeyer near side, and it's Howard at the 20, slung down by D'Angelo Pons, and it's a 6-yard gain.
Man, he is so good in coverage. And again, it's hard to show you at home exactly what he means to this defense, but he plays primarily to the short side of the field. We call it the boundary in football. So here's Pons. See, he's in the short side of the field, this direction. And then what that allows them to do is rotate the defense towards the wide side of the field to produce numbers.
Second down and 9 at the 19. Penn State knocking on the door. Grunkemeyer rolls out of the pocket, in trouble, and he'll get rid of it.
But where they've had success so far here on this drive is that they need to take the aggressive nature of the linebackers for Indiana and make it work against them, put them in conflict. It's hard to do on a 3rd and long, but even a token play fake, and I think they need to work the middle of the field. That's where they've been able to find some open areas. Right down the middle of the field, you've got Pena. He's going to be in the slot. Right up here, you've got a tight end down low.
3rd and 9. Grunkemeyer. Underneath, incomplete. Devontae Ross. And it seems like Ross and Grunkemeyer have not been on the same page today.
No, they're trying to run this little, it's called a drag screen, where you're trying to throw this ball where he catches it behind the line of scrimmage so the guys downfield can start their blocks before he catches the ball. They've tried this twice now on 3rd downs so far here today, and both times Grunkemeyer and Devontae Ross have been unable to connect.
So Ryan Barker comes in. He's 11 of 12 on the season with a long of 49 yards, his first attempt of the day. This from 36, and it's good. 20-10. Under 4 to go, 3rd quarter. Penn State still fighting. Tomorrow, Fox NFL doubleheader starts with breakout rookie Jackson Dart and the Giants taking on Caleb Williams. And the much improved Chicago Bears or other regional action. Then America's game of the week as Matthew Stafford and the Rams battle Christian McCaffrey and the Niners, or the Lions and Commanders. Check local listings for the games in your area, only on Fox. Jenny's been talking a lot of trash. She talked trash to me about my Lions losing at home to Minnesota. And then she told you when you were cold if you wanted to borrow her coat. Jenny Tabb, the All-American girl. Back to Happy Valley right after this. With Georgia Tech and Navy's losses last week, that leaves 4 undefeated teams. Number 1 Ohio State, number 2 Indiana, number 3 Texas A&M, and number 7 BYU. But right now Texas Tech, they've got BYU on the ropes, blanking them. So there may be only 3 right now. 20-10. Indiana ready to to get it going on offense again. First down and 10 at the 25. Roman Hemby in the backfield. Becker in motion. Mendoza steps up. Mendoza scrambling. And Mendoza just throws it out of bounds. But the pressure affecting the Indiana offense, Zachy Wheatley just couldn't bring him down. Remember, Mendoza's a big guy. He's 6'5", 225.
He just stays on his feet and again eludes the rush.
And athletic.
Yeah, and he's able to burn the ball there and save about 10 yards of field position.
2nd and 10. Hemby. And Hemby knocked down by Zion Tracy.
Well, here we are again in a 3rd down. Indiana's 3 of 8 so far today. This defense has done a great job of getting to this point, but now it's about making the play, presenting the pressure on Mendoza, covering well down the field, and then if they've got a chance, getting him to the ground.
Great opportunity for the Penn State defense. 3rd and 7 at the 28. Mendoza. Oh, Becker, what a catch! Charlie B does it again.
That was a prayer from Mendoza. The pressure's coming from his blind side, and they actually get to him. King Mack hit his arm as he threw. He's hoping that's not going to be a pick, and Becker back over his right shoulder goes and gets it. Where did this guy come from?
5 catches, 88 yards. Charlie Becker from Edgewood, Maryland. And the handoff to Hemby. Correction, Charlie Becker from Nashville, Tennessee. That's a 5-yard gain for Hemby, who's from Edgewood, Maryland.
I'll tell you, man, we wondered who would take up for the lack of production with Elijah Surratt out, and it's been Charlie Becker. Gus, he had 7 catches total on the season this year, and here he is in a big moment. He's got 5 grabs for 88 yards.
2nd and 5 at the 43. Trips at the top of your screen. Cooper in motion. The handoff. Black. And then Black picks up a 1st down. Collins with the stop.
We have seen that 4 or 5 times today where Penn State
right there.
One of those series in the first half, they had 3 different 3rd downs. There was a penalty on one of them. Can't get Mendoza down to the ground twice on that last set of downs. Mendoza looks like he's dead to rights, and he's able to get the ball away, and Becker makes the grab. This team just knows how to compete and how to make plays.
1st down at midfield. Mendoza out wide, that one high and incomplete for Cooper. One of the few mistakes Mendoza has made today.
They have put a lot of pressure on him. It's very similar. This is a very similar game offensively that Indiana is playing, and Kurt Cignetti will know this, as they played against Iowa. A bit lethargic here and there. Now they got the 2 turnovers in the short fields. They converted those into 10 points. But this normally efficient and explosive passing game just hasn't gotten their footing yet.
2nd and 10 at the 50. Mendoza, delayed handoff. Black. And Black will be corralled and will gain a yard. TJ Blanding, 1st man to him.
Well, guess where we are again. Here we go. See if they snap it before the end of quarter, but we're in a 3rd and long again, and I don't think that they will snap it. They're going to head on over to the sideline, and the first snap of the 4th quarter is going to be reminiscent of all these before them today, where Penn State's got an opportunity to get off the field. And time again, it's been Indiana making the plays. Their quarterback, Houdini in the backfield, Terry Smith. Which one of his guys can make a play?
Coming up, the 4th quarter. from State College. 20-10 IU. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business. Connecting changes everything. Start of the fourth quarter here in State College, Pennsylvania, 20-10. Indiana leading Penn State. Time of possession, IU close to 26 minutes. This Penn State defense has been good and very close. Right now, a 3rd and 9 at the 49 for IU. Charlie Becker has 5 catches on 5 targets. Mendoza winds up and incomplete. This time no flags. Becker the target. Collins in coverage.
This is really good coverage from Davion Collins. A little double move right there, and he doesn't bite, and then he is right in the hip pocket of Becker, who can't quite get on top. Indiana expecting Penn State to sit on those routes right at the 3rd down marker, right at the line to gain, and Collins did a great job not biting on that double move.
But more importantly for Penn State, they force Indiana to punt, and they'll get the ball back. Mitch McCarthy from his own 36. Pena, who's had an excellent game for the Nittany Lions, is the return man.
Five-yard penalty, 4th down.
And a delay of game called by Kurt Cignetti's special teams unit. This one will be fair caught at the 15-yard line. A 39-yard punt. Great stand by the Penn State defense. They did their jobs. Now let's see what the offense can do, trailing by 10. Big News Saturday is sponsored by Pacific Life, building confident futures for nearly 160 years.
Pacific Life Game Summary is sponsored by Pacific Life, building confident futures for nearly 160 years. And the difference in the game now at 20-10 is the 2 turnovers from Penn State. Indiana able to capitalize both times. First, a touchdown, then off the interception. Aiden Fisher, he's able to grab the tip ball. And they convert with a field goal. And those 10 points are the difference here as Penn State is back on the field on offense.
First down and 10 at the 15 for the Nittany Lions. Grunkemeyer sets over the middle and caught. Pena again. Trevor Pena tackled by Pons. He'll gain 20, and what a game this young man's having.
He sure is, and they keep attacking that middle seam, and rightly so. Grunkemeyer threw a ball like that last week against Ohio State, probably his best throw of the game against the Buckeyes. And now they've done it here a couple of times against Indiana. He's very comfortable there. Gus throwing that layered ball over the linebacker in front of the safety, and they've done a good job with it.
Pena, 5 catches, 93 yards. First down at the 35. Singleton, head of steam. Singleton slips, but a nice run. He'll gain 4.5. Farrell with the tackle.
Well, it's just been a different offense. I know that they haven't, exploded for points here, but their ability to just push the ball down the field has softened up the defensive front for Indiana. And now what that allows you to do is run the football a little bit. Now the threat of run is there, and you can get to play action later in this quarter. So this offense starting to build for Andy Kotelnicki here in the beginning of the 4th. 2nd
and 6 at the 39. That's because their young quarterback is improving play by play. And Singleton! Nick Singleton! A burst! Singleton! Singleton at the 10, 5, down at the 1. Nick, the quick, a gain of 60. They've been waiting.
It's Pons with the touchdown-saving tackle. But these fans have been waiting all year long, and no one's been waiting longer than Nick Singleton to break off that long run. A signature of his career here for the Nittany Lions, and finally it arrives, and it arrives right when they desperately need it here in a 10-point game in the fourth quarter.
And they'll leave him in the game. First down and goal at the 2 for Penn State. Singleton on the pitch. And Singleton dropped for a loss. Dominique Radcliffe. But there is a flag.
Yeah, I think Indiana was trying to substitute late, and they never got onside.
Offside. Defense number 17, half the distance to the goal. First down.
Let's go back to that long run. And you can see as Nick Singleton breaks through, D'Angelo Pons actually contacts the umpire right there, the official in the middle of the field. And that's what allowed Singleton to spring through that gap and get all the way down inside the 5-yard line.
So that'll make it first down and goal at the 1 for Penn State. Singleton, the deep back. Singleton. He won't get there. No gain. Tyreek Tucker again.
I know that they want to try to get Singleton the touchdown because he set him up. But Katron Allen is their better short yardage back. Katron Allen is 11 for 11 this year, converting on 3rd or 4th and 1 short yardage. He's 1 for 1 today, but he's on the sideline, and Singleton still in the backfield.
Second down and goal at the 1. Singleton, touchdown, Nittany Lions. And listen to this crowd.
They brought it back from last year. You remember this one, Gus?
Yes.
Venga coming in motion. That's an offensive lineman, and bang! He opens up the hole for Nick Singleton, and he's in the end zone. And I tell you, there is some real life over there on that sideline.
And in this stadium, Barker for the extra point. And it's good. We got a game now, folks. 20-17. Penn State punching back. Indiana. We'll see what you got. Now it's time for the Aflac trivia question. Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover with Aflac. In the AP poll era, which began in 1936, which coach holds the record for most wins in their first 2 seasons out of school? Hint, 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 I guess. Please. Wosul send it away. Roman Hemby back deep. 20-17. This one kicked out of the end zone. So let's answer the trivia question. In the AP poll era, which head coach holds the record for the most wins in their first 2 seasons out of school?
I would say either Larry Coker or Kalen DeBoer in the expanded playoff era.
Ooh, look at you.
There we go.
Okay.
Well, DeBoer,
Okay.
remember how good he was in those only 2 years he was at Washington.
Yeah.
Took him to the national title, and that's
Good
the
job.
expanded playoff era.
You got that money green suit on. You got to keep wearing that. First down at 10 of the 25. Black. And this defense for Penn State should be rejuvenated.
Man, they've been good today. This run game, which is normally dominant, they've only had 116 yards on the ground, 28 carries. And when you put Indiana in that bind, they can't get to their run-pass option offense with Fernando Mendoza throwing the ball. So it becomes a drop-back game. And in a drop back game, this defensive line has won. And they presented pressure on Mendoza right in his face. And they've got to do so again here.
2nd and 8 at the 27. Mendoza, empty backfield. Mendoza looking. Mendoza. King Mack. He's got it. Whoa. Out of nowhere. King Mack with the interception. And Penn State has the football.
Well, he's going to come from the middle of the field. Here he is. Watch number 16. Eyes over on the left, and then he breaks on the route. Mendoza, I don't think, ever saw him. He thought he had a completion to E.J. Williams. There's King Mack floating the entire way.
Did he get his foot down?
He undercuts it, Gus. He's got control. Left foot.
Whoa!
He's down.
What a play! And Penn State has the football in Indiana territory. With momentum, this defense, Jim knows his defense. Spectacular. 1st and 10 at the 44. Allen back in the game. They give it to him and he gets clobbered. Hosea Wheeler jumped on him. All 6'3", 300 pounds.
They just let him go here. Look at this. He's just going to get into the backfield. Right tackle is pulling over to the left side. That's Nolan Rucci. And there was no one there for that backside cutoff. And Wheeler is there, transferred in from Kent State, having a heck of a year.
That makes it 2nd down and 12 at the 46. 20-17, the number 2 team in the nation. Indiana in a dogfight. Grunkemeyer steps up, throws underneath and caught. Dinkins found a crease. He'll gain 7.
Really nice escape from the pressure by Grunkemeyer in the pocket. Looked like it was closing down. He was able to get himself up near the line of scrimmage. I think they've got 2 downs to get this. You know, depending on the field position here, maybe you go for a field goal and try to tie it up. But boy, they've got all the momentum here.
3rd down and 5 at the 39. This kid's got something. Only his 3rd start. They hand it off. Allen breaks it back, dives, and picks up a 1st down. Moore with the tackle. A gain of 5. The Nittany Lions.
Nice run by Allen. Contact right there, and he's able to just drag the defender across the line to gain. They're running it well enough right now, Gus. They've got play action at their disposal. When they overload the left side, that short side, watch for a wheel route, tight end down the left side of the field. They love doing that, or even a back over here on the left side.
1st down at the 34. Grunkemeyer looks backside underneath. He's got his tight end, Rapelier, and he's close to a 1st down. They give him 9.
Well, they tried to do exactly that. They were trying to sneak Nick Singleton out there on the wheel route, but because the coverage sank with him, Rapelier was open on the underneath route, and Grunkemeyer found him right away. I tell you, this kid in his 3rd start is starting to see it. He's got a rhythm. Ball is out on time. He's escaping the rush. Doing a great job.
2nd and 1 at the Indiana 25. Katron Allen. 1st down, Nittany Lions. He gets 4. Clock winding down. 7:46 to go in the 4th. Penn State trying to exercise the demons of a disastrous season against the number 2 undefeated team in the nation, the Indiana Hoosiers.
I tell you what, in the last 10 minutes, this looks like the team that was ranked number 2 to start the year.
1st and 10 at the Indiana 21. But they can't make mistakes. Here's the pitch. Allen inside. Look at him churn. Look at him grind. That's 7. Ratcliffe tackles him. quick snap, 2nd and 3. Allen again, stutter step, and a whistle and flag, false start against Penn State.
This is such a mistake.
False start, offense number 16. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
You know, they're trying to use the quick tempo, and I understand it's worked for them, but as the quarterback, you have to wait until your formation is set before he snaps that ball, and Dinkins was just not quite set over on the far side when Grunkemeyer snapped the football.
6:47 to go. 20-17. Indiana. 2nd down and 8 for Penn State at the IU 19. Grunkemeyer, backside throw. Singleton makes a miss. Goes inside. Singleton, touchdown! Nittany Lions!
They get the screen going. Here he comes over to the left side. Movement to the defense's left. You bring him back over to the opposite side, and then Singleton makes 2 guys miss in the race to the end zone, and Penn State has the lead.
With 6 minutes and 27 seconds left, Barker, extra point. And it's good. Nick Singleton. But King Max started it all. Nick the Quick answers the bell. Penn State, first lead, 6:27 away.
What a 12 minutes it's been here, about real time. Down 10, Singleton takes it all the way inside the 5, punches it in, and within a score, the defense comes up huge. King Mack, the interception. And then Singleton on the outside takes it in. Singleton, 3rd touchdown today, 51st of his career. And Penn State has it. This is what it was supposed to feel like and look like for Penn State this year.
And let's go downstairs to Jenny.
The only word I can use right now to describe Penn State and their sidelines, euphoric. Nick Singleton has been embraced by almost everyone. The joy on this team, it's been the strong words of encouragement from their leaders. Deni Dennis Sutton pulling King Mack aside and saying, that's what we need. We are going to continue to fight. And remember, Gus, what Terry Smith told us. Our guys are not going anywhere. No excuses. Find a way to get it done.
Thank you, Jenny. Nick Singleton, caught in a funk this season. Breakout game today, but now Indiana. 1st and 10 at the 25. Mendoza rolls out on the move. Caught, and a great catch again by Charlie Becker, and he gets whacked.
Man, what a throw from Mendoza. This is so reminiscent of earlier this year. Raucous environment. They're in a tight ball game. And Mendoza threw a pick 6 against Oregon late in that game. But on the ensuing drive, he was perfect. Marched right down the field, threw a touchdown pass. Look at those eyes of concentration. Great throw on 1st down.
1st down and 10 at the 38. Becker, over 100 yards receiving. Here's a handoff to Black. And Black dropped by Zion Tracy, who's been sensational today.
The whole key for this Penn State defense today has been the fact that Indiana has not been able to control the ground game. So they have to continue to focus on that. Try to put Indiana and Mendoza in 3rd and long situations so that pass rush can show up.
2nd down and 7 at the 41. Mendoza looking. Mendoza scrambling, and it's time to get him. Denied. Dennis Sutton says, come here. Woo!
Let him eat. Let him eat. It's 3rd down. And number 33 is feeling it.
And so is this crowd. 3rd down and 11. Do or die at the 37. Mendoza. And a flag on the play.
I don't think they got it off.
Delay a game offense, 5-yard penalty, 30.
So that'll make it 3rd down and 16 at the 42. Excuse me, 3rd down and 16 at the 32. The number 2 team in the nation. Undefeated. Indiana on the ropes. Mendoza, a Heisman candidate. He needs magic. Mendoza in trouble. Underneath. Incomplete. Alex Tash knocks it away. Makes it 4th down. And here comes the punt team with 4 minutes left.
This is what this is supposed to feel like at Penn State. Massive pass rush over here from Mendoza's left. He's got a bailout, just tries to get the ball to Cooper. The coverage was perfect in the back end.
Mitch McCarthy will punt it away from his own 17. Trevor Penn, who's been excellent today, the deep man. He'll let it bounce out of bounds near the 30. And with 3 minutes and 53 seconds left in the 4th quarter, leading 24-20, Terry Smith will send his offense on the field.
Well, there's only one group that can put this game away, and it's those 5 guys up front. They've run the football decent in this second half. They've got 2 veteran backs. They've got an offensive line that is experienced. It's on those big boys to try to put this thing away.
First down and 10 of the 27. Allen, the pistol back. Straight ahead, Katron. Landino with the tackle after the 7-yard gain. Indiana with 3 timeouts, Penn State with 3 timeouts.
And what's important here for Andy Kotelnicki, the offensive coordinator for Penn State, you can't get bored with this success running the football. You keep pounding the ball. And then what has to happen, Gus, is that Ethan Grunkemeyer at some point is going to have to be in a zone read and pull this ball out in order to get onto the outside and race for a first down. At some point during this sequence on this drive, Grunkemeyer is going to have to run for a first down.
2nd down and 3 at the 34. Play clock winding down. Allen. And he'll lean forward and gain a yard. Maybe a little more. But the clock keeps moving. And now a timeout called by IU.
Whew. I'll tell you, at one point in this game, it looked like Indiana was just going to race away for another impressive, convincing victory. But the resilience of this Penn State team, 5 straight losses, their coach removed, James Franklin, Terry Smith, the interim coach, all of these guys, they don't know where they're going to work in a month. And yet here they are, the resilience, the courage, and the discipline to keep playing the way that they've played in this second half. It has been an absolute pleasure to watch.
It's been a long time since they've beaten a top 5 opponent. Terry Smith, the interim coach, 56 years old. Drew Aller watching. 3rd down and 2. Katron Allen, they give it to him. First down, Penn State. He needed 2 and got 4.
I tell you, the tight ends on the outside. Watch these 2 blocks that they're able to get over here on the left. Good job in the interior, but Dinkins gets the block on the linebacker. Beautiful block by Andrew Rapplier on the edge, and that's what allows for the first down.
Clock keeps moving. Penn State at one time trailing in this game 20-7. 1st and 10 at the 39. Allen. And he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage, no gain. Aiden Fisher plugs up the hole. And now Indiana uses their second timeout. But let's take a look at how we got here. Penn State's season started out promising, ranked 2nd in the nation, ahead of defending champion Ohio State. They won their first 3 games, but then the wheels came off, losing consecutive games to Oregon, UCLA, and Northwestern, which resulted in James Franklin's dismissal. Since then, they've extended their losing streak to 5 straight games, but they showed some signs last week. In the first half against Ohio State, went into the locker room trailing by only 3. Ethan Grunkemeyer, who's from Columbus, making his 3rd start, and he's shown that he has leadership and maybe something special. He's been cool as a cucumber. 2nd down and 10 at the 39. Allen. Fisher again with the stop, no gain.
IU will take a timeout.
Now Indiana out of the timeouts, but the 2-minute timeout is still coming.
So if they can get a stop, they would get the ball just under 2 minutes. If they can get a stop here on 3rd down.
Indiana made their first trip to Beaver Stadium in 1993, and they had Rose Bowl aspirations, but Kerry Collins hit Bobby Ingram for a 45-yard touchdown late in the 4th quarter to upset the Hoosiers 38-31.
I mean, you think about why James Franklin was removed, and it's because they couldn't beat the top 5 team. Like, this is it. This is what they have been waiting for, dreaming of. Granted, it's on the back of 5 straight losses. I understand that, but I just marvel at the resolve of these kids. Again, Indiana, they get a stop, 2-minute timeout. They can get the ball with just under 2 minutes to go.
Grunkemeyer taking the snap from under center. Play fake. Drops it off in the flats. Rapplier. And he stopped by Isaiah Jones, and that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 24-20. Penn State's got to punt it away. Indiana will get another shot after this. Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by Wendy's new chicken tenders. The last time Penn State beat a top 5 team came in 2016 against Ohio State. And they did it in comeback fashion. Grant Haley blocked a field goal, returned to 60 yards, put the Litany Lions ahead, winning 24-21.
They were down 14 in that game, down double digits in this game. They have come roaring back. And now, and I think rightly so, the defense is going to be asked to close this out because this defense has been outstanding today.
But now Gabriel Wusu, the punter, from inside his 30. And a false start call.
False start, offense, number 31. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Wusu will punt it away. Probably the biggest punter in all of college football at 6'6", 297. But he needs his best right here. Delivers. And that ball into the end zone for a touchback. He kicked it 63 yards.
Tell you, Jonathan Brady, the return man, did an incredible job faking out. Yeah. He ran up as if it was a short punt. The entire punt team went with him, and there was no one down there to try to down it inside the 5.
So Indiana, no timeouts, down by 4, will start at their own 20. They need a touchdown.
Best receiver not on the field. Elijah Surratt has not played today. Charlie Becker has been their most reliable wide receiver.
First down. Mendoza. He's got to let it fly. And they get him again. Whoa, Zane Durant. Shot out of a cannon. A loss of 7. 2nd and 17. Mendoza again. Guns it over the middle. And a first down for Omar Cooper. That's a 22-yard gain.
Oh, they desperately needed that. No timeouts. Got to go fast.
And they'll spike it to stop the clock at 1:22.
This pass rush has been showing up all day long, and that's what they're going to need to rely on for Penn State. If you're Indiana, those seams are perfect. They've got 3 sacks on the day already, trying to get home for a 4th. But right down the middle of the field is where they need to attack.
2nd and 10 at the 35. Mendoza. Sideline throw. Caught out of bounds. E.J. Williams. He picks up 13. Inch by inch for the Hoosiers. 1:17 to go.
It's no man's land for those corners. You don't want to get beat deep. Those underneath routes will be open if Mendoza wants them.
Remember, Penn State had some troubles last week with the deep ball. Charlie Becker, number 80, has been brilliant today. First down at the 47. Mendoza under pressure off his back foot and incomplete. Omar Cooper had a step, but Mendoza had to throw it early.
And he had him. Cooper won on his route in the slot. It was one-on-one, and Mendoza did not have a ton of pressure in his face. He could have set up and thrown this ball accurately. He released it too early, and it's over his head.
2nd and 10 at the 47. Can Penn State hold on? Mendoza over the middle. Oh, he's got it. Riley Nowakowski, a gain of 29, an absolute gem by Fernando Mendoza. 1:07 to go.
The offense snapped the ball prior to the defense completing its substitutions, which it will be allowed to do now. The clock is going to start on my signal.
First down and 10. IU at the Penn State 24. Mendoza in the gun. Mendoza. Becker! And it's a catch! Charlie B again!
Insane catch. Beautiful throw up high where only his guy can get it, and his foot is down after he catches the ball. That's insane.
Gain of 17. 48 seconds left. And Penn State now calls a timeout.
I mean, this drive started with a sack. And Mendoza down the seam a couple of times, one to Nowakowski and Charlie B. Coming into today, 7 career catches for 157. Already 7 grabs in this game for 118 yards. And Gus, these are contested, tough catches. How about some of these throws? Mendoza right down the seam. Beautiful catch by Cooper in front of the safety. Out onto the sideline, an easy one to Williams. This was an absolute dime. Nowakowski, the tight end, down the middle of the field. No better catch than that one. Up and over the top of the defender. Becker, his 7th grab of the day. I tell you what, man, Mendoza getting all the points he needs from his coach right now. You cannot take a sack here if you're Mendoza. Too much time will come off. There's no timeouts. So if there's pressure at all, you've got to throw the ball out of the back of the end zone. And really, almost every one of these passes and attempts should be into the end zone.
First down and goal at the 7. 48 seconds to go. No timeouts, IU. Empty backfield for Fernando Mendoza. And that one deflected at the line of scrimmage. Chimaju got a hand on it.
How about the true freshman coming in? Chimaju. Hands up, bats the ball down.
2nd down and goal at the 7. Mendoza caught him on a switch. End zone. And a timeout by Penn State.
Timeout, Penn State goes second. 30 seconds.
Oh, Terry Smith saved it here. Look at him. He's racing down the sideline, asking for the timeout. Remember, Terry Smith is a defensive coach. He's the defensive backs coach. This is the unit that he's more tied to specifically. So he would know everything that's going on from a personnel standpoint, in particular in the secondary. They weren't lined up, and they were trying to substitute, Gus, and Indiana had not substituted. So therefore, the officials were letting them play. Penn State had 12, 13 guys on the field, and Terry Smith was racing down the sidelines to get the timeout.
Fernando Mendoza started this drive at the 20-yard line. He's a Heisman favorite. A touchdown here. He may be able to put the trophy in his back pocket and take it to South Beach. Mendoza looking, throws, and incomplete. Under pressure, hit by King Mack.
They are sending the house at Mendoza over here on this right side, and King Mack gets to him and gets to that arm before he can let it go. Single coverage in there. Cooper had a step, so he had a place to go with the ball, but Mack saves it with the pressure.
3rd down and goal at the 7. No timeouts for the Hoosiers. Mendoza in trouble. End zone. Touchdown! Wow! Omar Cooper! Unbelievable! Give him the Heisman Trophy now!
Did he get his foot down? Control!
Oh my goodness!
Oh, no way!
Oh my goodness.
Was the left foot the first one to touch?
Oh my goodness, it's a touchdown.
Oh my gosh! He caught it!
He caught it.
That is crazy! Gus, when you're just going for the toe down, It's not a step. So he gets the toe before that heel touches the out of bounds, the end line, because it's not a normal step. So just the toe should be enough. Oh my
goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That's the best catch I have seen all season long.
Incredible camera work by our crew. Mendoza under all kinds of duress.
Oh my gosh.
Omar Cooper Jr.
Gus, that's a borderline throwaway, right? I mean, he's just putting it way up top as he's getting pressure. It's like my guy or nobody. And Cooper goes up the ladder, and then while he's getting contacted by Zakee Wheatley, who's playing it perfectly, he's trying to push him out, he somehow gets that left toe.
Mike Pereira. Well, hold on. Here's the call.
After review, the ruling on the field is upheld. Touchdown.
Unbelievable drive. Unbelievable touchdown pass. Unbelievable reception. And Indiana takes a 26-24 lead with 36 seconds left.
That was an incredible drive. Precision. Surgical. Mendoza.
Radicic's extra point good. 27-24. Indiana. They go 80 yards in 10 plays in a minute and 15 seconds. Capped off by maybe the catch of the year. Definitely the touchdown of the year in the Big Ten.
And the back judge was all over it. He is right there. That's Josh Dasher, the back judge. Look at him. His eyes are down on the foot. He's staring at that left foot. Made the call real time. What a drive. What a drive.
Mendoza on the drive. 5 of 8. 87 yards and the touchdown.
I mean, the football that we just saw played from both teams in this quarter. Man, I love this sport.
Unbelievable. Folks, this is the Big Ten. Quinn Warren will kick it off. Nick Singleton back deep. He squibs it, and it's picked up at the 37. So, Terry Smith, he's got a timeout left.
35 seconds, one timeout. Barker's career long is 49. He's done it twice. He's had plenty of leg for those.
Where do they need to go to get in range?
I think comfortably you need to get the ball to the 35-yard line.
Uncomfortably.
The 37-yard line. Okay. I mean, that's about 35 is stretching it.
Grunkemeyer will start at his own 36. Grunkemeyer in. Reynolds gets out of bounds, gains 5, stops the clock at 29 seconds.
Great job by Reynolds, eluding that tackle on the outside, getting himself out of bounds.
Remember, it's been Trevor Pena, number 8 for Penn State.
You need about 25 yards to feel like you got a chance at a kick.
Grunkemeyer. And he'll throw this one away. Wisely. Aiden Fisher with pressure. Makes it 3rd and 5.
He was in the pocket, but there was a receiver in the area on the left side. Kurt Cignetti is screaming for an intentional grounding, but he's not going to get it with a receiver over on the left side. I'll tell you, the middle of the field, Gus, that's where they've hurt him. That's where they've gotten those passes to Penn.
Remember, Penn State has a timeout. 3rd and 5 at the 41. Grunkemeyer underneath, caught, first down to Penn, and the clock will stop momentarily.
Got to go quickly. You got to go quickly.
20 seconds to go, and now they use the timeout.
Boy, I would have loved to see them just spike the ball there and save the timeout. Timeout there, you probably don't have to take it. You could have spiked the ball 2nd and 10 with 19 seconds left with a timeout. But now, with no timeouts, you cannot complete the ball short of the first down marker. And for a young quarterback, someone's got to be telling him that right now in the huddle. He can't take a sack. He cannot complete the ball short of the first down marker. Everything has got to be past the chains so that the clock can stop and you can run up and spike the ball to stop it. After the wind, of course, when they set the chains. Gus, if he completes it short of the first down marker, I don't know if they can comfortably get another snap off.
First down at the 47, 20 seconds left. Grunkemeyer rolls, throws, and incomplete. But there is a flag.
Yeah, it was offside.
At the snap, defense number 6, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
You know, he went to the outside looking for a big play right away. You see the jump here on the far side. There's the jump. It's Kamara. Looking for the big play right away on the sideline.
So that makes it 1st down and 5. 15 seconds to go. Both teams out of timeouts.
And Gus, you're about 12 yards away from field goal range.
Grunkemeyer needs 12 yards. Throws. Incomplete. He had his man. Devontae Ross was open. 9 seconds to go.
Well, now it's getting very tight. So whatever you run now has to be quick, probably on the perimeter to try to get out of bounds right away. And you've got to communicate to everybody, even if you're able to throw something short to get the first down. Everyone needs to get on the line of scrimmage immediately to spike the ball. Defensively, they've got to play heavy outside leverage. And the corners need to sit for the short route on the outside.
2nd and 5. Grunkemeyer steps up. Out wide. Incomplete. With 5 seconds to go. Singleton the target. And now it's Hail Mary time.
If that pass was backwards, they're going to wind the clock. That looked backwards, but they ruled it incomplete. Clock should have run, but now it is Hail Mary time.
Last play of the... Grunkemeyer needs time. Winds up, lets it go! Incomplete! And Indiana will win it in dramatic fashion. 27-24. The Hoosiers survive and advance. What a game! These two go back a long way. When Terry Smith was a high school coach in Pittsburgh, Cignetti came and recruited some of his kids. Indiana improves to 10-0 with a dramatic 27-24 victory. Your final thoughts, Joe Black.
Man, incredible. IU, that's a great team.
The final score here in Happy Valley, 27-24. Indiana survives, remains undefeated.